India gradually sees itself flattening the coronavirus curve, it appears that the time to return to offices is nearing. For over 6 months, employees in many sectors have taken their offices home, and with the help of technology, they have been able to have a seamless work experience at home. These months of lockdown have also given time to companies to reinvent office spaces in order to cater to a world of social distancing and higher standards of hygiene. Right from new layouts of cubicles, cabins, to using sensors to alert physical distancing, companies are leaving no stone unturned to bring back their employees to a virus free environment.
The ongoing pandemic has changed the way the world works. It has not only given wings to the work from home culture, but has also created a new normal of one arm distance and social distancing in workplaces. The question now remains to be asked: how will our offices look like once everything opens up in a post pandemic world? To understand the subject better, we have with us Sandeep Sethi, Managing Director, Corporate Solutions, West Asia, JLL. It's good to have you with us, Sandeep. Hi.
Hi, Garima. Thanks for having me over.
Sandeep, let's just, ask the basic first question that we need to is that what changes can we look forward to in the terms of infrastructure and design of offices, post pandemic and once everything opens up?
Sure. One thing is for sure, Garima, that safety of employees is going to influence all decisions related to offices and real estate as well. So, employee safety is going to be the most important factor when it comes to designing or redesigning offices and the portfolio as well. What that means is, as today you have many employees coming into the same office. Now, given that there's social distancing requirement, there's de-densification requirements, it's possible that offices could be split and you could have a hub and spoke model. Now, when the pandemic hit us during the lockdown, we saw a lot of reverse migration of the frontline staff, mostly the construction workers, housekeepers, security guards, etc. Most of those folks have come back. Now we're seeing a reverse migration of the white collar staff, the millennials who work in tech centers, BPOs, etc. Most of them have gone back to their hometowns. Now it's very hard to bring them back for various reasons. Their families are uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable taking public transport, coming back to the cities, etc. So offices are saying, hey, why don't we just bring our offices closer to you? So they could sign up deals with co-working centers. They could create small satellite offices near to their residences in tier 2, tier 3 cities, for example. So the office portfolio will be split most likely. I would say the overall size of the office portfolio will remain the same. It would just be structured differently. But certainly there'll be a lot more emphasis on safety, and after that will come employee experience.
That this pandemic has given a momentum, it has given wings to the work from home culture. And it is predicted that it will be enforced in workplaces, once post pandemic. So, how much of that will have an impact on the office real estate market?
That's a good question. Look, I feel it's not going to have a big impact. In fact, if you look at the last couple of recessions, there was always a boom right after the global recessions in the India real estate commercial market. And the reason is very simple. Every company across the world is looking for cost optimization during bad times. And in the process, they move more jobs to India. And the India cost arbitrage story still exists. So we will see most likely more jobs coming to India. When we talk to large corporates, I can't name them, but many large corporates are saying they expect an increase in number of seats for their portfolio in India, which means the office market will look good. You look at the largest occupiers of office market in India, for the grade A at least, you're looking at the IT sector, the ITES or the BPO sector, you're looking at banking sector, you're looking at professional services. Most of these have large development centers, large captive BPOs or third-party BPOs or development centers in India. That story is not going away, and that makes up almost 60 to 80% of the India office real estate market. So I do feel that the growth story will sustain. Yes, maybe it won't expand at the same rate as we saw in the last couple of years. There'll be a slowdown, but it'll start picking up and eventually it'll catch up and keep growing. So we're quite optimistic.
What kind of, how is advanced technologies going to shape the offices of post-pandemic?
Technology adoption is one of the greatest, I would say, one of the biggest reactions we've seen to this pandemic. Every company is saying we've got to accelerate our technology adoption journey. Now, you imagine an employee when he or she leaves home and comes to the workplace. There are many, I would say, moments of truth where the employee is exposed from a safety perspective. Let's say the cab that he or she sits in. Let's say the whole parking experience, the lift lobby experience, the reception experience, the cafeteria experience, the meeting room. It's an endless list. So what we're going to start seeing is technologies are going to come in to make this whole experience safe and touchless. So for example, we are all used to booking our cabs on Ola and Uber. Cabs that run on behalf of companies that pick employees from their homes and bring them to the workplaces, they're going to have apps as well, and they're going to be touchless. So instead of going out and waiting for your car, for example, you're going to have a beep that comes on your app that says, hey, your cab is here. The cab is going to optimize the routes and basically pick the employees that are going to be in the same area. The parking is going to be a lot more convenient, where you're going to get an alert on your phone, for example, which says which floor, which spot is available. Lift lobbies are going to be better managed as well. So for example, today, I personally get very scared when I have to punch a button on the lift because I'm exposed from a health perspective. But in the future, you'll have, and this is not too far away, a lot of the pilots are already in place. There are holographic dashboards available, which are digital. You don't even press anything physical, but you're touching into a holographic image of a touchpad, and you punch in the button of your floor. So these are some examples of how technologies will really make lives safer and more convenient.
Definitely. So, Sandeep, my last question that I think everybody wants to know is, when can we expect these offices to come out alive? And what is the realistic timeline we are seeing for offices to open up and this newly designed offices for us are going to come out?
I wish I had brought my crystal ball to this discussion,
Yeah.
Garima. Look, in the last 3 weeks, we've started to see a lot of companies and employees becoming restless, and they're asking a lot more employees to come back to the office because they've realized a couple of things. One, they've realized that this situation is here to stay for a while. Second, they've realized that the vaccine is going to take a long time. Even if it's around the corner, the deployment of a vaccine across such a large population is going to take a couple of quarters at least. Companies have realized that the next pandemic is actually mental well-being. And employees are facing burnout by just working in one room, staring at the screen all the time. There's no line between day and night. There's no line between work and home. And employees are struggling. To answer to your question, Garima, there's expectation that, let's say, by first quarter of calendar 2021, we will see at least 30 to 35% employees coming back to the office, and will ramp up. It'll probably go to 50% by second quarter, and hopefully it'll ramp up to 75 and beyond from Q3 onwards. It's very likely that it'll probably cap at 80 to 90%. Companies will always probably encourage 10 to 15% of their workforce to work from home or satellite offices or co-working centers in order to maintain social distancing. And that will be a split team concept. So everybody will always come back to the office, but they'll take turns. So that's our perspective.
That's great to know. I think a lot of us are really waiting to go back to offices and meet our colleagues and see how this new office is going to be. Thank you so much, Sandeep. I think this has been very insightful to talk to you. Thank you so much for talking to ET Guys.